Nigel Farage is in negotiations for a referendum on Boris Johnson's net zero plans, it has been claimed. The Brexit champion is said to be in very serious conversations to launch a campaign to fight for a vote on whether or not Britain should take action to become carbon neutral. Mr. Farage's plan, unveiled by Christopher Hope, comes at a critical time for the Prime Minister, whose leadership is being challenged by a series of damaging scandals. Mr. Hope wrote in his weekly Telegraph column, "One referendum isn't enough for Nigel Farage." He is quietly in negotiations with donors about launching a campaign to force a vote on net zero. He tells me that the policy is profoundly unconservative and that, although talk of a series of rallies in March and April is premature, he is in very serious conversations about campaigning for a referendum. According to Mr. Hope, Mr. Farage said we cannot trust the House of Commons. The government's proposal for reaching net zero emissions, which was revealed in October last year, involves an expansion of electric vehicles, further growth of offshore wind and investments in new technologies such as hydrogen and sustainable aviation fuel. It also includes commitments to end the sales of new fossil fuel cars by 2030 and gas boilers by 2035, as well as building new nuclear power plants. The strategy is supposed to unlock £90 billion in investment in the next decade, a large part from private sector companies, and create up to 440,000 jobs. The question is, does the British public want the UK to go ahead with it? Mr. Farage's remarks suggest he doesn't think so, and that Britons should, just like they did with Brexit, get a chance to have their say. A poll back in October showed 42% of British adults would support a ballot on the net zero plan, whilst 30% would oppose it. Close to a third, 28%, did not declare a preference. According to a YouGov survey, when the don't knows were excluded from the results, a majority of 58% wanted a vote on the issue. The hint at a potential referendum follows the filing of court papers by two separate environmental charities that sued the government over its climate strategy. Client Earth, CE, and Friends of the Earth, FO, say the presented plan relied on speculative technologies such as zero-carbon aviation fuels and extracting carbon dioxide directly from the air and burying it. Sam Hunter-Jones, CE's lawyer, said, "It's not enough for the UK government simply to have a net zero strategy, it needs to include real-world policies that ensure it succeeds." Anything less is a breach of its legal duties and amounts to greenwashing and climate delay. CE also argues the failure to meet legal carbon budgets would violate the Human Rights Act by impacting young people's right to life and family life. The government's official advisers, the Climate Change Committee, CCC, though calling the net zero strategy a big step forward, made an assessment in line with the charity's claims. It said, the government has not quantified the effect of each policy and proposal on emissions. So, it is not clear how the mix of policies will deliver on its ambitions. Mr. Johnson wrote in a foreword of the net zero proposal, "This strategy shows how we can build back greener without so much as a hair shirt in sight." In 2050, we will still be driving cars, flying planes and heating our homes, but our cars will be electric, gliding silently around our cities, our planes will be zero-emission, allowing us to fly guilt-free, and our homes will be heated by cheap, reliable power drawn from the winds of the North Sea. The Prime Minister is currently under immense pressure over cross-party calls for his resignation following revelations of rule-breaking gatherings in and around Downing Street that allegedly took place during the UK's first COVID lockdown. The likes of Douglas Ross, leader of the Scottish Conservative Party, and former Brexit Minister David Davis have said he must go. Thank you for watching.